right now the odds seem to be heavily favoring Joe Biden, specifically. So if I had to bet money on it, I would bet Joe Biden because you know, he's polling ahead in various battleground states. I know polls aren't always perfect, but he does seem to have a pretty decent edge at this point. Now things definitely could change. There could be a vaccine in the fall that could drastically, change how that polling is going. But as of right now, it looks like.
I honestly think Trump's going to win, only because I think he'll have the support. I think he would crush Biden in like any debates they do prior. I think he would just absolutely demolish him on stage. Yeah, I think the presidential debates will be interesting to see. And again, Trump is such a strong figure that I think it's hard. It will be very hard to defeat him. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Trump.
If you were asking me today, I would say Joe Biden will win, and the reason being because of the divisiveness that Trump is ultimately will get the better of him is how he speaks about people, and when you disagree with people, right? It's not setting people up to learn how to debate, right? Right now we live in a world where if you don't agree with my opinion, then obviously you're wrong or you're a bigot or whatever else. And because Donald is that way, of when he talks and creates such resentment in people, is that I think that Joe Biden, regardless of what he says or does, is likely.
And the reason I believe that Donald Trump is going to win is because Joe Biden just doesn't strike people as a strong enough candidate. I feel like having Harris at the bottom of the ticket, she's going to overpower him and lead a lot of people to not be able to pay attention to the top of the ticket effectively, and as a result is going to leave a lot of people kind of thirsting for something more. Donald Trump can carry a crowd. I've watched him interact with people. I've watched crowds respond to the way he acts. I feel that it may be a close election in some states, but I feel that his approach to dealing with conflict is extremely effective. And if anybody has a chance to debate him, if there is a chance to debate people on a stage, I just don't foresee him not wiping the floor with Biden, and as a result, people realizing that, yeah, we genuinely have somebody who is probably effective at their job, although a very flawed character.
Why I think Biden will likely win the election, just because I think the economy is in a pretty scary place right now. I think there's a lot of people out of work. I think that in my state in particular, there was a lot of problems with unemployment and some of that stuff. And it's kind of some rhetoric that probably isn't fantastic. So I think that is likely why. But I don't necessarily think he could have done better under the circumstances, but I don't know, because he wasn't there.
Why? So I actually think Donald Trump is going to win the presidential election, and I think that's for the same, basically that the polling that's been done to date, including last year, can't really be trusted so much. And I think that Trump has managed to very much energize his core supporter, as evidenced by some of these Trump flotillas and boat things like that in support of President Trump. So I think that the polling is not representative, and I think that Trump probably will win re-election.
A lot of people are fed up with President Trump and the way that he acts and the way that he kind of creates havoc in this country. So I hope that a lot of people do get out and vote. I hope everybody gets out and votes one way or the other. But I do kind of hope that Joe Biden comes out on top. So I'm going to say Joe Biden.
I honestly think Donald Trump is going to win. And I think if he can run a campaign for the next 5 weeks, not even all the way up, to the election where he's staying on a script and does not say anything just outlandish, and he sticks to the main point, I think that will resonate with the people, because I think a lot of people in the middle just don't want. I think people like me, they still think he would do a better job than Biden, but they don't trust him as a moral person. I think if he can just show that for the next couple of weeks, I think people will just slowly keep coming towards him. And if there is a debate, I think that would sway the election. I think if there's any debate, I think Donald Trump would win that, and I think that would just greatly show the difference between the two candidates. And I still don't know who I would vote for, because I think he's going to win. I don't want to vote for Trump. I don't want to vote for Biden. I don't want to vote for another candidate, but I will vote for Trump or Biden, just one of the two. I probably make it up on my way to when I fill it in my mail-in registration, but I do think Donald Trump will win, just if he runs a smart campaign here down the final weeks.